Wrestle Addict Radio HQ, representing kings of the rings to the fullest. King Ricky made the hot tag to Willie T, and out of nowhere like Randy is the queen bee. K-Fay brother, 400 plus in the bag like money in the bank brother. See when they pod, it's the opposite of common. Look at the comments, crowned at a certified top 10. You heard? Kings of the Rings pod. Throw up a too sweet when you see the squad. Like a chop in a, I know you feel it. Kings of the Rings are the illest. Kings of the Rings are the illest. Kings of the Rings are the illest.
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 415. Thank you guys for joining us. We are live on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook at Kings of the Rings podcast and at Wrestle Addict Radio. Today, for the first time ever, or maybe the second time ever, but we are dedicating an entire show, not to that ringtone, but an entire show to the one and the only TNA, because for the first time ever, we all went to a TNA event. And so TNA might be a little bit more of a prominent thing later down the line in this show. So we're going to talk about our experience, everything we went through, all the people we met. And one of the people we finally met, for me, or re-met for the first time in, I don't know, over a decade, AO? Easily over a decade. The man who made our very, very lovely theme that we're going to keep for a very, very long time, and the instrumental, the host of the Signature Move show, proprietor of Pardon My Press, the Everything is Pro Wrestling hat, which was on billboards everywhere around UBS, and of course, one of the hosts of the Ringside Club, A.O. Baker. Welcome back to the show.
Peace, man. Thanks for having me. No spiel from me. This feels like a nice home away from home at this point, man. I like it. You put my feet on the couch, get something out the fridge, you know?
Exactly. No, Will tonight. Will is being a business person and doing what business people do. Go to a Coldplay concert. I mean, he went to happy hour.
Oh, man. Coldplay is hot right now.
Haven't had a single in years. Did 2 singles in one night. It's a crazy thing.
Wow.
Crazy thing.
Pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. I can't take credit for that. The internet I got that from. Yeah, the internet is undefeated. But with me is K-Fave again. Kay, how are you? You're getting ready to have a big weekend next weekend.
Yes, y'all, we are. SummerSlam is happening, but more importantly, it's my bachelorette coming up. Hey. So I am about to spend 4 days on the Jersey Shore, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, getting buck wild, and going crazy. I can't wait.
Yeah,
sounds like a good time to me, man. Do hood rat things with my friends.
That's my favorite thing to do. Literally.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fretzelmania, for joining us. 4 singles, including their spouses. That is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So, crazy times in the world. But yeah, so this whole show is going to be dedicated to TNA Slammiversary and all of those things. So, I guess first off, Aya, what are your overall thoughts on Slammiversary? This is, like you said, your first live Slammiversary or TNA experience, correct?
Second, I went to one like TV taping. I don't even remember how long ago it was, but quite some time. It might have even been when Santana was there the first time as part of LAX. If not, then it was I don't remember the card, but it's been a while, bottom line.
Yeah.
But this is my first time at UBS Arena, my first time for a TNA like pay-per-view or premium live event, whatever you're calling it. And overall, man, it was fun. You know, it was really dope just to see a packed building for TNA, period. You know, that was the first thing. The energy was up and a lot of people were just enthusiastic about the matches. Like the card on paper just looked like it was going to be a really dope card. So I had a good time. Bumped in, aside from you fine folks, I bumped into quite a few people that I know either from the pod world or outside just from years back. So it was cool running into people and I had a good time. And I got home in like 10 minutes, so you can't beat that either.
Lucky you. I had to take the train, and someone puked on my train.
That's
it's so. We saw the Ronkonkoma train. I said to Will, and I'm like, I would rather die than take the Ronkonkoma train home tonight.
It was the worst because I wasn't aware until I was on the train, and Kay had messaged me. And Kay was like, there's a bunch of people in cowboy hats, and women are in like short white or like white dresses. And I was like, it's a country concert.
Skirt, very puritanical, conservative Christian vibes. But it was like a lot of people.
Yeah, and I heard Creed was doing a concert somewhere in the area as well.
I think Luke Bryan played MetLife.
Yeah, that will do it.
Yep.
That'll do it.
Bring them out.
On that train ride, like we're all expecting, taking the Ronkonkoma train, like, we're going to have some seats. That train was slammed with people.
I believe it.
Packed.
It was horrible.
It was very Nick fan out of Madison Square Garden vibes, right?
Yeah, me and some people I met, we had to walk almost to the end of the train to just to stand up, just to like get a spot to stand up.
I tried to look for you. Yeah. I tried to look for you on the other side of the platform. Could not see you.
You wouldn't have. There was too many people on that platform.
Yeah.
Too many people. But
I lucked up. I got I parked in the garage, and even with the let out, I got to my car pretty quick before like the bulk of people came out, and I was out of there, man. As soon as I got on the parkway, I out of there.
Yeah.
I got home like within an hour. Like the lure was a 15-minute ride, and then every subway I had to take was quick and arrived as I stepped onto the platform.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank God.
Nice.
So, Ayo, you did say this was your first time at UBS. What did you think of the arena as a whole?
It was beautiful. I mean, from what I saw, like I walked around quite a bit. I got there early, like you mentioned. I had one billboard. I was supposed to have two billboards. I was supposed to have the big billboard on the Cross Island Parkway, but shouts to the Yaminery that messed that one up. But anyway, I had a billboard running on the LIR platform. So I got to the area like super early, like maybe around 12, and then came back later on around like 4, get good parking, just walk around, and it was cool. It doesn't hurt that it was just a beautiful day out, right? So
yeah, we got so lucky, not humid.
Gorgeous. Yeah, it was gorgeous. So I just walked around, and then once I got inside, like just after the beginning of the just before the beginning of the actual show. So I missed the pre-show. I was outside just, kind of chilling or whatever. But, walked around a bit. The concessions were cool. Had some fries, overpriced beer, whatever. It's an arena. What are you going to
do? Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
So,
but it was cool, man.
Yeah. Kayfabe, what was your thoughts on the show as a whole before we go into the nitty and the gritty of it?
I had the best time at Slammiversary. It was my first TNA show. Not my first time at UBS. And I was saying this to Will on the train home. I had more fun at TNA than I did at any AEW show I've been to.
Huh.
Like, I can't quite pinpoint what it is, but I just liked the vibes of TNA better.
I think I have an idea of what it is.
I think I know what it is too, and I'm just going to kind of come for the IWC for a quick second.
Go ahead.
The fans weren't as like annoying or like weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like watching AEW wrestling, but I hate AEW crowds.
Yeah, you know what it is, and I'm going to pull out big SAT words here. I think AEW fans as a whole have a giant inferiority complex, so they are always trying to outdo even themselves, to be like, we are better than the establishment. And I think that comes out sometimes in their fandom and how
they're like edgelordy.
I wasn't going to go that far, but that makes sense.
No, I will. Like, yeah, I probably had that sense of humor when I was like 20 years old, but like, I'm in my mid-30s. I don't have that energy at wrestling shows anymore. I just want to have fun. I don't want to be mean. And TNA was fun.
Yeah. I mean, we sat next to a couple this guy who was a giant mark, and he was really knowledgeable, and his girlfriend, who was first-time TNA person, first-time wrestling show, and he brought her to Slammiversary, and she had a blast.
That's cool.
The theater kid in front of us?
Yeah, the theater kid, yeah.
I liked them. That guy looked so familiar, and I'm like, I know this man. I know that man from somewhere. I couldn't figure out where it is, but I know that guy looks real familiar.
Yeah, you got to figure it out for us.
Long Island is small.
That it is.
Where my seats was I was right in front of a couple of kids, and I actually enjoy being near kids when they're watching live wrestling because this is not, I just saw something on the internet, so let's dissect it. They're just there, like, really enthralled in the show. Probably the closest they get to behind the scenes is really playing the video game. So they know that they're putting moves together and putting the show together. But it's not like I just was on Wrestling Observer from 92. You know what I mean? Let's compare the numbers and buy rates and all that. Like, we're not doing that. And the kids that I was near, we're just having a blast. I was actually sitting next to some bodybuilder looking dude who was like the biggest Hardy fan. So he was one of them dudes where, like, I'm going to give him as much space as he needs.
If he starts going nuts, everybody's getting taken out.
Yeah. Again, like 5'8", allegedly, 170-ish. I pose no threat. So yeah, clap it up, my boy. But like I think it also has a lot to do with the with the section that you're in. Okay, did you go to any AEW pay-per-views or were they like TV tapings?
I've been to Grand Slam twice, and I've been to just about every single Dynamite at UBS Arena.
I wonder if it's different for like the pay-per-views, just because it's like back-to-back action.
Grand Slam I had more fun at Grand Slam than I have at like regular Dynamites.
I did the Grand Slam at was it Arthur Ashe?
Yeah.
That was a good time.
I went 3 times. I've gone every year except 2022.
Word.
It's so close, and it's a cheap ticket. How could I not?
Yeah.
But
really simple.
I really like TNA. I think I'm a TNA guy now.
TNA fans, man. I think I'm in.
Just wait till the TV deal, and they're going to. It's coming. The TV deal's coming. We're not going to mention it real quick, but I did go to the softball charity event the day before at Calhoun and Merrick Belmore.
I was supposed to say that was like Merrick, right? Yeah.
Merrick, yeah. That was just a pure fun time. The president was there. Most of the roster was there. And they played softball. It got a little wacky, but it was a charity softball event, but it was really cool. Met some cool people there.
Fun.
Yeah. And it appears, based on especially the fact that they broke their own attendance record, which they almost hit $8,000, which essentially, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with UBS Arena, it's pretty much the entire lower bowl for the most part. And it showed up on the TV, on the replays that I've seen from that they put on their social media. Place was packed for TNA, and they will definitely be back if it's the turn on. And if they do come back, it's just going to be bigger from there on out. So
yeah, they're on the upswing. Like they, benefited quite a bit from the NXT partnership, but just in general, like they also have a hot roster. They've always had a really good roster. That's the thing. It's just partially weird creative decisions, which there were a few on this show, to be blunt, but then also just the fact that they're on Access and not everybody has that. I think they've also done, like, this summer, I think they've put a lot of their live Impact shows on YouTube. So I know a bunch of people have been watching live there free instead of it being behind a paywall.
Yeah, or you wait a couple of days and you can see the whole episode. I know TNA Explosion, their like secondary show, is on YouTube like a couple of days after it airs. So
that's good to know.
We're doing well with their social media and things like that. But speaking of weird creative decisions, let's talk about the main event.
Wow.
Man. Yo, the show was great. The show was amazing. All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's talk about the main event. The TNA World Championship is on the line. Trick Williams, who has been holding the title for several months, winning it at an NXT PLE versus Joe Hendry, everybody's golden child, who, by and large, helped save TNA from oblivion at a certain point in time, versus essentially, quote unquote, the hometown man, Mike Santana. This was, I know this isn't their WrestleMania, but this felt like Mania style entrances. Joe Hendry had his entrance. Mike Santana went through half of the UBS Arena before he got to the ring. Mike Santana, being from the Bronx, being a Puerto Rican from the Bronx, it was a huge crowd for him. Like, it didn't dawn on me until he was doing his entrance, because I saw people just around the arena with Puerto Rican flags. Like, wow, there's a lot of Puerto Rican fans that are wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Not putting it together, but Mike Santana's from the Bronx.
AKA Puerto Rico, New York.
Exactly. And Trick Williams with the douchiest entrance of all time.
Loved it.
I loved it.
It was so good.
What was it, the Harlem
The
Choir?
Harlem Gospel Choir.
It was a Harlem Gospel Choir. I was like, why?
That was amazing.
So it was a big fight feel. Everything seemed to be going well. There was a lot of chain wrestling and stuff going on. And then Trick gets hurt. And I'm like, okay. He gets hurt outside. They're playing it up. I thought for a second they were going to stretcher job him. I was like, oh, maybe this is real, and maybe they're just BSing for a little bit until they figure out what to do. And then they started to carry Trick back to backstage, but he never made it halfway up the ramp. And then before we knew it, Trick just ran in like a magical healer and stole it. And so, bearing the lead here, you guys have seen Slammiversary, and I'm going to put the ticker of all the results as we keep talking throughout this. NXT/WWE now has in their possession, in their superstars, both of TNA's biggest titles. The World Championship and the Knockouts Championship are both owned by NXT superstars. And it's such a weird way to end the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one went home happy except Trick Williams.
That's true, yeah.
That deflated my balloon, I tell you that.
A lot of people's balloons. We were like, what?
So I had so many thoughts here. So the Trick injury, like you, for a split second or two, I was like, oh, damn, he might really be hurt. And the arena, you could feel the air go out of the arena for a little bit. Once they got him up and kind of standing up, and he's just, kind of leaning, I'm like, all right, it's a work. Yeah. The problem that I have with this is Joe Hendry hits his finish.
Yeah,
so
the choke
why, right? Why? What is it? The mic drop or something like that? Encore, whatever he calls it. He hits
something like that. Yeah.
Why does Trick Williams have more faith in Mike Santana's finish than he has in Joe Hendry's finish? Why, in other words, why doesn't he see Joe Hendry's finish as the opportunity to run and break the count up?
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Like, that didn't make any sense. You just basically, we don't believe you, Joe Hendry. We don't believe in you. We don't believe in your finish. We don't have any faith that that's going to end the match. And then just the overall creative decision. I heard a lot of people saying, yeah, Bound for Glory is their Mania, it's their biggest show. You have to put more than 7,600 and some odd people in an arena for it to be their biggest show this year. I don't care what traditionally has been your big show or your culmination. If you have an attendance record, to me, that's your biggest show.
I agree.
So
Bound for Glory, they're gonna be in Lowell on October 12th.
I'm looking it up.
They're not going to.
Yeah, if there's 4,500 people in the building, then it's not your biggest show. I don't care what you want me to believe. And like, why not just because? By the way, Mike Santana wins the title, hometown pop, amazing feeling, a lot of momentum. Think about the energy that comes through the TV of people watching this. Like, damn, I really want to tune in to see what does Mike Santana do next as the champ. That doesn't mean that he has to hold that title until we get to Bound for Glory. You can always swerve and storyline it up to where Trick, runs a play and gets the title back on this Thursday. But why not? Every once in a while, just book the thing that seems obvious to everybody. Go with the hometown pop and crown Mike Santana. I didn't understand it. Wasn't what I would have done.
Yeah.
So I looked up the arena where Bound for Glory is going to be, and their capacity is only 6,496. So it's going to be attendance-wise smaller than Slammiversary was.
Right. So what are we doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they touted this. Even the president. I mean, the marketing for this. The Hardy Boys are everywhere in New York. They even did Subway Mania. The president of TNA did Subway Mania. The president of TNA was at the softball game. You marketed this as your biggest, if not your biggest, your most historic show ever in the history of the company, which it was for the attendance and, the being able to do a major arena like that in the United States. That's a big deal. That's not the time to continue a storyline. it's the time to give the fans what they came for. And a lot of people in that crowd came to see Mike Santana take that title in New York. He was built on NXT.
Yep.
He was built on Impact as the top babyface to take that off a Trick.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that went for that scene. That was number one on my list as far as why I wanted to go. I was in the building at House of Glory. I'm a long-time Mike Santana guy. Like, I have his first piece of merch from his own little clothing line that he did. I have a piece of merch signed by him and Ortiz that I've never worn. A picture with, me holding it up next to both of them. And I was in the building at House of Glory in Queens when he won his first and so far only House of Glory world title, which he held for 400, 500 days. So I was looking forward to being in the building to see him win his first TNA World Championship. I'm not going to the show in Massachusetts. So by default, I'm not going to be in the building if that is indeed when they want to crown him. So,
yeah, I'm going to be at Comic-Con, to be completely honest with you.
I'm prepping for my wedding. Sorry.
There's 3 less tickets right there.
Exactly. I've also never really done anything in Massachusetts for reasons because I'm a Yankee fan. With that being said, it's true.
I played at a House of Blues once and then went to a whiskey bar. That's about it.
Oh, yeah, you're closer than I've been.
I've been to Salem and I loved Salem.
I get it.
That's my only experience in Massachusetts.
Yeah, so it's a weird thing because halfway through the event, and I had talked about it last week on the show, I was like, okay, at one point in time during the event, NXT will have both world titles, and then by the end of this, the men's titles, TNA is going to take one back, and then it didn't happen, and I was like, I looked at Will. Will was like, "What?" He put his hands on his head, like, "What are we doing?" Everybody was like, "What's going on?"
And they lost the pre-show to the Fourth Rope team.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fourth Rope versus No, but as far as every time TNA went up against an outside promotion on their biggest New York show, they took an L.
Yeah. And this apparently is no different. And I have a very wild disaster scenario.
Let's hear it.
They're getting bought.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the scuttlebutt.
Yeah.
And monopolies aren't good for anything. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
That's the dangerous part of getting too close to WWE. Historically, that just hasn't worked out for anybody.
We just got Evolve back, and they're on Tubi, I think.
Yeah. From the territory system all the way you saw what happened with Progress and WXW. They just got out not too many years ago. It's just not the move. If you're a fan of that promotion, it's just not really what you want to see,
Yeah, I will say, could they benefit from a WWE influence? Yeah, that production batch on the backstage segment, which I talked to some people, made the pay-per-view cut.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
They had some mic issues for some of the people. They were sharing mics on the pre-show panel. I was like, you guys need money. Which makes me believe that they could be bought sometime in the near future, which is a scary thing to see.
Yeah, I hope they do a television deal, and that's where they get their funding from versus that purchase.
There has been talks of Tubi, Fox Sports 1, A&E. I doubt they'll go to A&E because that's WWE territory currently. Fox Sports 1, I think, would be great for them.
Yeah.
Tubi, again, another WWE territory currently right now, but if they can get their own TV deal and still keep a WWE partnership and influence, I think that's a win-win. But I wouldn't be surprised if they get bought.
Doesn't TKO have enough debt to worry about? We don't need to spend more money and buy TNA in the hopes of making that money back.
Would they be in debt if they bought TNA? It's the big picture is their biggest show is 7,600 people plus. I think the valuation of TNA isn't that high. It's not like an AEW thing.
I mean, the library, but that, how much is the library? I don't know what the valuation on their library is. If it is 20 years of
content,
footage,
yeah. 23 years of footage, yeah. So we'll definitely see what happens with them moving on. But yeah, really weird finish to this whole main event, but still an overall good match. Speaking of good matches, we did have the title for title, essentially not a unification, but winner take all, Masha Slamovich versus Jacy Jayne. Title for title, obviously Jacy Jayne ended up winning this. And even though now she holds 2 big titles, I still don't believe in Jacy Jayne at all.
I don't like her that much.
It's like as a performer, she's not bad. She's not the best, but she's not bad. I think my stance with Jacy Jayne is that you never seen her by herself. She went from toxic attraction to fatal influence. She's never stood on her own. It was kind of like the thing with Carmella for a very long time. She was always with somebody else. And I think that takes it takes it away from her. Like she's a classic. I have heel friends, but so I think to have her go to the next level, she has to do stuff by herself. Also, I think Fallon Henley would play this role better than Jacy, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Kay, any thoughts on this match?
I did enjoy it. I'm not really a fan of Jacy Jayne, but it ended how I thought it would. She won. Good for her.
And Masha Slamovich is fun. This is my first Masha Slamovich,
Mine too.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about her.
I know she had an epic fight WrestleMania weekend with Natty.
Yes.
At Bloodsport, which was like her big coming out for a lot of people. But Masha Slamivich's been around for a minute. Charles also thinks TNA should go to PBS, which honestly, I'm okay with that at this point.
Give me Elmo on commentary.
The juxtaposition of TNA, knowing what that originally stood for on PBS, is very funny to me.
But it was a solid match. Again, we all expected this to happen. This could lead to something pretty big. I mean, you have women from arguably the 2 best women's divisions in all of wrestling now vying for both titles back and forth. This could, of all the things of this TNA and WWE NXT partnership, this is probably the best thing they could do.
Yeah, and like Jordynne Grace is always right there, also having history in both, promotions. So I think she's always in play for this scene. What I liked about this match is that I think this followed the previous, what was it? I'm drawing a blank, but there was the other one-on-one women's match.
Tessa versus Indi.
Yeah, this followed that and was a nice complete energy shift. Like they started out and the pace for various reasons, right? But the pace immediately was like really, really quick, so the energy went like way up because that previous match was a bit of a downer. But it was a solid match. I'm a Masha Slamovich fan. It'd be interesting to see like how long does Jacy hold both of these titles? Is it Masha that takes it back? Or again, like I mentioned, is it something where we involve, Jordynne Grace or somebody else that I'm not thinking of? But it was a good match. I liked it.
Yeah. Historically, double champions in NXT don't work well.
Nah.
No.
Ever. So I don't expect Jacy Jayne to make it out of the summer. She may go as far as end of September with both titles, but it's not lasting long.
No,
definitely not.
But I see what they're lining up, man. Like if I wouldn't be surprised. Like Bound for Glory seems like it's around the corner, but when you're watching weekly TV, that's still October. That's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
But I can see them lining up. Like unless they do this at a big NXT show, they're going to be holding these titles until then, and then it's the big comeback for the entire TNA roster to get their titles back.
The next big NXT event is Heatwave at the end of August. So
which would be good for TNA wrestlers to get wins on NXT TV.
I agree. I agree. I think that would be a great win for everybody involved. And now on 2K's favorite match of the night, the 4-person tag team ladder match, the Rascals, the Nemeths, the Hardys, First Class. First off, shout out to Myron Reed, who last minute they called and was like, "Hey, you want to do a ladder match?"
Yeah. What are you doing on Sunday? I'm gonna climb some ladders and fall off of them.
I want to get knocked around for a little bit. Like, shout out to Myron Reed for that. This match was, and I dare say, an innovative ladder match.
Yeah.
Because who thought that AJ Francis would just do a moonsault off the top of a ladder and not hurt himself.
Yo, clean too.
Yeah,
it
I was very surprised.
It wasn't like the Bam Bam joint where it's like to the side a little, or the Vader rather,
Mhm.
where it's to the side. No, the Bam Bam. It was like a nice full rotation. It was pretty clean, and that was like the one aerial move of the match that went well for him.
You know what? Legs. Yeah, when I saw him do the moonsault, I was like, oh, and he put his arms out. I was like, oh, he's gonna do a trust fall. And then he flipped. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I thought that too.
Yeah, and he flipped, and it was wild. The only thing I can say about this match, even though I know Kate loved it, was that they took such a long time setting up all the spots.
I agree. It did take a while.
Because I was like, what is going on? I was like, there's tables. They almost killed almost all the ladders in there. And then your boy Jeff somehow summoned the spirit, and he got like the crew ladder like dangling.
So apparently Jeff's been sitting on that idea for 20 years.
Which makes sense because that ladder looked about 20 years old.
Yeah.
He's been sitting. I read something this morning that he's been like sitting on that idea for 20 years and hadn't found the right opportunity to use it.
Well, WWE was going to be like, no way in hell we're letting you do that.
That seems like something, even I feel like AEW would have let him do that. But
yeah.
He
definitely did two swantons also, bounced off the ladder twice.
And it didn't
break him. No, it was a crazy match. I still feel bad for Top Dog. I'm hoping he got off the ground because oof, yeah. For bad setup, I looked. I was like, he's not that high up on the ladder to be doing the spot. And then
I don't know who told that man to jump. Excuse me for one moment, folks.
Yeah, you're fine. I don't know who told him to jump at all, but he fell feet first, and a rung went in between his legs, and that was. Boy,
that was so painful. I still like cringe thinking about it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Also, your boy Jeff is a wild man, Kay. He got the ladders, and he climbed up higher after getting the belts and did his freaking dance on the crew ladder.
I was too busy dancing with him to record him.
I have a good picture of it.
I have that video. I got a good video of that.
I have the video. I have the video of him like winning.
Yeah.
Like when I got home, I made poor Liv sit and watch every fucking video and every fucking picture I took. So we get to the Hardy Boy, and you just hear me getting louder and louder. And Liv's going through a zillion wrestling things with it, and she's just like, I have never heard you that primal at a wrestling show before.
Oh yeah, they haven't been with you at a good event then.
It's been a lot of AEW.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, no, this ladder match was great. Like most of his card was a well put together card in terms of placement.
It was paced really well. My only complaint was that Tessa was so early because that was my planned snack match. But I wanted to get her out of the way.
Yeah.
I think when I saw you, it was match 2.
It was match 2, yeah.
Yeah, that was my run.
Yeah, but it happens. It was good to see Indi get the win. We'll talk a little bit about
it. It was awesome
at that match later. My match of the night was this X Division Championship.
Crazy.
Leon Slater versus Moose. Leon Slater, taller than I expected in person. Them and Moose put on, I think, bell for bell, the best match of the night, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. They told a great story. Leon Slater looks like $1 million. The Swanton 450 is even more impressive in person.
It's so pretty.
Yes. Oh. And the fact that, Moose, I thought Moose was going to just annihilate this kid after a while. He just kept slapping him.
Those chops were loud. Like where we were sitting, you could hear them perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He took him out. Obviously, I think the best moment of that match was Moose rolling away. thinking he wasn't going to hit and giving him the finger. And then he hit one of the longest swantons I've ever seen.
And looked like he could have gone further. Like he probably could flip and drop kick the opposite turnbuckle, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, crazy.
He's got some, and then hit the Swanton 450 directly after that.
Yeah. The power being young.
Word.
Remembering funny.
I'm not hitting a Swanton on anything. If I hit a 450, I'm not getting back up, bro.
Yeah, this I think this is the perfectly booked match.
This was the feel-good win of the night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This was like everybody was like the pop on the 3 count for this was really, really up there, you know.
Yeah, it was great. He had his family from the UK in the crowd, which is really cool. And I love to see, I've never really seen it often, but Moose put the belt around him before leaving. I was like, oh wow, that was a really cool moment to see.
Mm-hmm.
I would see that I missed because I ran back out for another run and came this close to missing the next part of this whole deal. But I really want to see Leon Slater and Myron Reed. First of all, they got similar pants. But the styles, I think, would be it would be a really fun match. Myron Reed, by the way, that cutter out of the ring, is like, bro, your back is just, what are you doing?
They almost hit the barricade.
Yeah. It's amazing to watch, but how you gonna feel when you get up here, man?
I mean, talk to Mustafa Ali after his match. Jeez.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we almost saw like a broken neck in the first match.
He did come out and say that was his mistake. It was no one else's mistake but his. So good on him on that. I want to see, and I mentioned this when I was sitting down, I want Leon Slater, Javon Evans.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Just have put the X Division title on the line at Heatwave. Leon Slater, Javon Evans. They will destroy the arena.
Yeah, that's like the aerial match of the century, right?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's only 24. I was like, in 4 years, he's going to sign with WWE.
Definitely.
If not sooner. But I think if I'm booking NXT and WWE, I'm putting Leon Slater and Javon Evans in a story for at least a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
And see what they can do and work together. But my God, fantastic match. I'm a huge Leon Slater fan. I don't know how you wrestle since you've been 9, because I would have had to go into school at some point.
You play hooky.
That's the thing from like a lot of UK wrestlers start like super duper young. Like, when did you like play with toys? Was there school? Like, did you ever play tag, or was it just straight to training? Like, what's your childhood about? This is like Michael Jackson 5 family. Nah, you're gonna go out there and wrestle, bruv.
Well, I wonder if wrestling in the UK is like for us, like Tiger Shulman's, for example. Like,
probably.
I think it is. Yeah, like a lot of them, just start like even like going all the way back to hear stories from like Regal, for example. Coming up in like the carnival system. He was out there as a kid. So a lot of these guys really start. It just makes you wonder about the wear and tear by the time you actually get to your mid-20s. You got 10 years under your belt.
Yeah, it's like, what do you do? So
yeah.
So who knows? But no, Leon Slater definitely well deserved. And then out of nowhere, which apparently was a shoot, if you saw Leon Slater's reaction in the ring, AJ Styles comes out not only as AJ Styles, but coming out to the Get Ready to Fly original theme song from TNA, and that place went ballistic.
On fire.
Yeah, absolutely on fire.
I almost spilled my beer running back into the arena.
Oh, so the music hit and you weren't in the arena? You weren't?
Nah, yeah. Like as soon as the 3 count hit, so that's why I said like I missed the Moose crowning him. I didn't see any of that. As soon as it hit, I jumped up. I was like, all right, let me go and come back. And I had to run back. I'm running in one hand and the phone in the other. I'm just trying to get the footage and not spill the beer. It's a good time, man.
Yeah, what a moment. It's my first time ever hearing AJ's Get Ready to Fly theme, and I could barely hear because everybody was screaming.
They know the words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are, I am. And boy, he did leave it open. I mean, one, I did like the fact that he put over Leon Slater, and that's what he came to do, which was cool. And apparently Leon Slater said he wasn't aware that he was going to be a part of his segment. Because when AJ's
Oh,
music,
that's cute.
if you, I don't know if you saw, but when AJ's music hit, he starts jumping up and down like a little kid, like losing his mind.
Really cute.
And then I think when you see AJ in the ring, he talks to him, and I think he's trying to like be like, "Hey, I'm going to talk about you, like stay here, like do not leave,
don't leave."
yeah.
That's cool. Were you like me? Were you expecting a little Pele kick at some point?
A little bit.
I was at some point. I was like, "There's too much love here, man. Where's somebody's turning on somebody? Who's gonna do it?" But that would be just a really dope, face versus face, generation versus generation match. That's one match that I don't even know if they got to do a whole bunch of storyline. It's already built in. I was a fan of you, watched you when I was growing up. Now I have the honor to wrestle you, no belt on the line, whether I'm the champ or not, and let's just watch him go.
I mean, AJ Styles did leave the door open for him to be like, "Hey, I might have," because we said one more match. He was like, "I'll get to that later," So don't be surprised.
He left.
Yeah, they left.
Later might not ever come,
unless he's trying to negotiate something for Bound for Glory,
which would be. Hey, if you want to get all under 7,300 people in that building, run an AJ Styles match.
Yeah. And I think he can't commit to anything because he is in storyline with Dom Mysterio.
Word.
And I really hope he got some sleep today because he went from New York straight to Houston.
AJ Styles was Jamaican last night, man. He had every job under the sun.
He definitely did. What a pop. And I think the greatest thing about it, too, it's not that he came back, which he did. He came back in his, TNA gear.
Yeah.
No logos, no, modern WWE, gear. It was classic black vest and a white shirt.
Yeah, that was really dope, man. Like a nice homecoming. That was another, it's probably, as far as feel good moments of the night, that's probably, top 3. Myron,
Leon Slater.
The Leon Slater win, AJ Styles coming back, back to back was just really, really good energy.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, great place and great time. And then we started out hot as hell, too.
Yep.
They announced,
another banger.
Yeah, they announced this right at the end of the piece. Oh, by the way, we're starting with Cedric and Mustafa. I was like, you know what? This is about to be fun. And it was everything you thought it was, especially when, I don't know if you might have noticed this, Aaron, but he came out, Mustafa came out in very 205 live-ish gear. The jacket.
I didn't catch it, but yeah.
It's one of his original gears. It's probably from when he first started wrestling, and him and Cedric go back a long time.
Yeah.
Running the indies and things like that. And this match was wild. It was everything you thought it was. The story was great for Vince, where he was like, "You stole my WrestleMania moment because you beat me at WrestleMania. I want my moment back," and things like that. And Mustafa playing the political heel. Not the foreign heel, the political heel, which is he's never wanted to do a foreign heel.
Right.
With Order 4, which is such a weird faction, but it works for him.
Exactly what it's like. It's strange, but fine.
Yeah, it works. And then, I thought Cedric was going to do this, but then, you have clearly the abuse victim known as Tasha Steelz going back and forth.
Right.
With this.
Took a hell of a lumbar check.
Yeah, she flew. She flew on that lumbar check. But we were so hype about the lumbar check, we didn't realize that Mustafa had climbed to the top 8 of the 450 and won the match.
Yeah.
It's great.
I kept the tally, man. There was, I think, 2 holy shit chants. There were 2 this is awesome chants. Standing ovation. This was, when I was looking at the card before the show, this was the match that I pegged as this is probably going to be my match of the night, just because I know what both of these guys are qualified to do and capable of doing.
Yeah.
And it did not disappoint, man. They got really, really busy.
Yeah,
and it's really cool just to see Cedric Alexander hasn't been back super active that long, so this
is his first appearance since his release.
I think as far as a pay-per-view was concerned, he might have done some TVs here and there and some indies, but as far as pay-per-view and big match feel, this was his comeback party, and he did not disappoint, man. He still looks like $1 million. He got busy.
Yeah, he did, and I don't know how Mustafa has a back. He took a back body drop onto the steps.
Yeah, there were a couple of spots, and you could tell like this is they probably had that conversation where like, yo, let's go out there and tell everybody to follow this.
Yeah,
they probably
that's
had
exactly what they did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did, and we were all better for it. It was a great way to start the show. I just thought Cedric was going to win, but he ended up not, which just means this story is going to continue. And again, it's one of the things. First big show with a major promotion. Yes, thank you, Mr. Will Gray. It's going to be one of those things that is going to, I think, help push TNA further because you don't need a title for this. This is pure, I'm better than you. No, you're not.
This is really prime for a nice best of 7. Like I would not be mad to see the two of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good. It's better than Sheamus and Rusev, and Sheamus and Rusev is really fun.
Yeah.
Things like that. Moving on to a match that actually was on the pre-show, got moved last minute to the pre-show. The Elegance brand versus the Inspiration, formerly known as the Iconics, for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship. First PLE or pay-per-view for the Inspiration since they left 3 years ago because they had children, both of them, against the Elegance brand, which is, I don't know if you follow the Elegance brand, Mr. A.O. Baker, but there's such a weird amalgamation of Maximum Male Models and Tony Storm.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty good call. Yeah. Good call.
I think, and I do think their concierge, who pretty much is just Luther in disguise, was hysterical. He is a great heel. You weren't in for the pre-show, were you?
Yeah, I missed this match.
Okay, so they do the tag match, and so the Inspiration come out, and they're in like cheetah print, and before the Elegance brand comes out, their concierge literally does a pure indie heel thing. He's talking about how the Inspiration don't deserve to be in America because they're Australian. He calls them migrants. Yeah, he calls them. Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
All right.
He came out swinging. And that's just a good heel. And then the Elegance brand came out as a Statue of Liberty, which was so pompously heel. And the match was what it was. It was a good match. Again, this is one thing that I thought, it's kind of weird that you bring back the Inspiration. They don't take out the Knockouts Tag Team titles back from them, but it works for now. It's
another thing that this is. We saw the segment later on. This ain't over either.
Yeah, it's not. Over. The Inspiration are iconic. See what I did there? Good job, Will. You definitely have been spoken before this show. I can tell you that for a fact. Now, this isn't over. I think this is going to be great, but I'm happy to see the Inspiration back and doing something because they've always been entertaining, no matter what promotion they were in at the time. And again, they're going to be really good if they keep this going. And it's only a matter of time before the Inspiration show back up on NXT and that place explodes.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. They're coming. They're going to go show up. They might show up on NXT tonight, which is starting in a couple of minutes as we're recording. So who knows?
Taker's going to be on NXT tonight.
Who?
Taker's coming for Trick Williams tonight to talk to him.
Yeah, because Trick was talking trash to some of his people on LFG that made an appearance on NXT. So Taker's going to come and knock some sense in. Which, if we're going to go really far out there, we can say that might have been a reason Trick wins.
Oh, maybe.
Because. It's a stretch. It's a stretch. I don't like it either because I don't think you need a Trick and Taker face off with the TNA Championship.
Yeah, it's like certain things don't need. In fact, like I think it even there's so many things you could have done. Yeah, because now I'm getting. Let me book something. Yeah.
That happens when people come on this show.
Yeah, we like to get a little crazy and wild.
It's like, look, if let's say, for instance, like Joe Hendry is still the one that gets pinned, right?
Yeah.
Mike Santana wins, but Joe Hendry gets pinned. Trick Williams is a heel. He can come back tonight on social media whenever and just like, I never got pinned, so therefore I'm still a TNA world champion. And then you run that angle, like obviously you're not, but you're a heel, so we can get into this act. And he can still talk his trash to the Undertaker with or without a title.
Yeah.
And then they get that one-on-one that they build to Bound for Glory with Santana versus Trick, and it still works out.
Yeah.
Somebody should cut a check or something, man. What are we talking about?
Somebody should. Speaking of people who cut checks, I don't know how she still got hired. Tessa Blanchard went up against Indi Hartwell in a battle of I did so many things for you to get you to America and wrestling. You have done nothing for me. That's pretty much the storyline. And the story of this match wasn't the fact that it was a match, and it was an okay match. It's told a good story. The story of the match isn't the fact that Tessa Blanchard is a talented wrestler, because we all know Tessa Blanchard is a talented wrestler. The story of the match is that, yes, we all still hate Tessa Blanchard for all the things in the past, because it was audibly loud multiple times, because if they tried to quell it and it just came back harder, she's a racist trans. Because welcome to New York, we don't forget anything.
Nope. We are petty.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she's employed, bro. Like,
no one does. I brought one of my friends to the softball event when we went to eat afterwards, and we were talking about Slammiversary, and he's very much a casual fan of wrestling because he's got a life and a wife and kid and everything like that. And he was like, and he even told me, he goes, "Why did they rehire Tessa Blanchard?" And I go, "No one knows."
I honestly think that they thought this would die out by now, and they were using like TNA as a bit of a tester ground. Because I always felt that if this story never, if all those backstage stories of Tessa either never came out or never happened in the first place, she would have been, very easily a WWE
or even
wrestler.
AEW. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, especially when her pops was in AEW.
Tully, yeah,
Tully was there. But just the opportunity to run her with Charlotte, in a faction with the heritage of the Four Horsemen. But I really think that they ran this, this TNA comeback with like, let's see if there is a chance to and from night one when she came back, it was very clear that we're not forgetting any of this. Like, sorry.
Yeah, multiple countries chanting she's a racist. Wherever they go, she can't escape this, and she shouldn't, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. She absolutely should not. And it just begs the question, like, what are we even still doing here? How long is left on this contract, and why don't you just break the contract? Like, let you out of the contract. Be out. There is no upside to Tessa Blanchard, no matter how good the match is. So be out. What are we talking about?
Yeah, and then the putter with Alicia Crawford, formerly known as Alicia Fox.
Right.
Crazy choice.
Right.
I will say you would have loved our section, AO. So there was somebody 3 or so rows behind us who went off on Tessa the entire match. He was like, "Tessa, why are you still here? Just putting you with Alicia Crawford. They said, like, don't pull me. I have a black friend card with us."
Right. Like, that was very clearly, by the way, that this is the card that we're playing. Let's try to,
it's not working, especially not with Alicia.
And then like, I feel bad for some of the wrestlers that they put her in matches with, because they ain't asked for any of this.
No.
Like when the Jordan Grace feud, when Tessa verse came back, was like, I feel bad for Jordan Grace having to drop the title or take the L rather. I felt bad, and even for Indi. Indi is like the most lovable human. As far as
isn't she the current Hog World Champion too?
Yes, she's the women. Yeah, she's the House of Glory champ. So I don't. Somebody's making decisions that are not the decisions I would.
The saving grace is that Santino did come out and say she is suspended indefinitely, and hopefully that is a way to make her go away for a long period of time.
I really do think that's why I said, like, I think this was the experiment, and I think the experiment has gone long enough and nothing has changed, and we're just done.
Yeah, yeah, we're done. They even went as far as trying to sell "I Hate Tessa Blanchard" T-shirts, and I would have bought it. But I was like, I know where that money's going.
Yeah, she's getting a royalty off of that.
You can make that yourself. Get like iron-on letters. Just make it yourself.
Right, I should sell those. Right, like we should start selling like "I Hate Tessa" hats.
Yeah, it is.
Tessa, we coming for you.
That was also the other chant that happened.
Great chant. That was a great chant.
Yeah, it is a shame. And I mentioned this when this first came out. Like, from a historical context, outside of the things that have been reported that she did backstage, by not just by random fans, by other people in the business, which gives it a whole different level of credibility. But before those things came out, we were all talking about Tessa Blanchard being one of the most important figures in the history of modern pro wrestling, being the first woman to hold a world championship, gender nondescript world championship. And we never talk about it. That's how bad all the things came out were.
Yeah.
She played herself. It's like, congratulations, she played herself.
1,000%. Yeah. Donkey of the day. Donkey of the year. The decade.
Yeah. I mean, and before all of that came out, the worst thing that had been alleged that came out is when she crashed out on Ricochet in the PC.
Oh yeah.
Get her out of here, man.
Yeah. It's bad. It is bad. It's such a horrible fall from grace, but it's what happens.
It is
That's
what it
happens
is.
when you're racist.
Yeah.
You brought it upon yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck her.
There's nothing else to say about that. So
there's a lesson to learn, kids. Don't be a dick.
Exactly. Especially when your entire locker room can see you and call you out whenever they want, and they cooked her real well. Speaking of real well, time for a real one, another one of Kay's favorite matches that happened on the pre-show. It was also a very quick match, to be completely honest with you.
This I saw on YouTube. I think the promo was
longer than the match.
Longer than the match. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, Steve Maclin, the TNA International Champion, which their international champion is better than anything AEW puts together. Versus Mance Warner and Jake something, or Mance Warner and Jake something versus the people of Fourth Rope, Real One, Enzo, Zilla Fatu, who I've met before, really nice dude, and Josh Bishop, who I actually have no memory of whatsoever. But do you know much about Fourth Rope besides the fact that West Side Gun started at AO?
Quite a bit. One of the co-hosts of the pod of the Ringside Club does their visual ID. So if it's designed, yeah, shouts to Blame Boogie. Actually, the shirt that I had on, I flew out. So their first WrestleMania weekend, not last year before, Philly.
Yeah,
they had one of their first shows. It might have been the first or the second show, but it was more so like a day party or a night party.
I remember I showed up the Philly and I got invited to that. Yeah, whoever was on the street team.
Yeah, so it was more so like a party without like matches. Their first show that they put on with matches was in Chicago, and I flew out to Chicago for that, hung out for a bit. And I know Smoke Dizza is a partner there.
Yeah.
And I mean, they use TNA's, they've been working with TNA from the beginning as far as like the actual production setup, even all the way down to commentary. So a lot of like their actual setup is the TNA setup. From the ring to the ramp, all of that. But it looks really, really good considering that this is like a show with probably less than 10 a promotion with less than 10 shows under their belt. Their production is all the way up to the top because they're working with TNA on that side of, they're spending a good chunk of change to put show.
I'm sure.
But it's, like when you talk about indies, it's an indie like, any other indie, except they're getting the best talent that's available because of the relationships that, West Side Gun and everybody else on that team has. So the matches are really, really good. But the vibe is really cool because they'll open up with, a set from, like I was there in Chicago and they had DJ Premier and Pete Rock just do the after party. Like the last match goes, and then you got Pete Rock on one side of the stage and Premier on the other, and they're just going back and forth and playing music, So it's really that. It really is, to me, the best. There've been a bunch of wrestling promotions that have tried to do the rap and wrestling thing.
Yeah, collection, yeah.
Yeah, this is the best version of that because they're not trying to do either. It's just naturally what we're doing. You got really, really good, well-respected, qualified rappers and producers and DJs, and likewise wrestlers. And they're just doing their thing. So I would recommend anybody that can go to a Fourth Rope show, do it. You're going to have a good time there.
Yeah, I'll keep that on our radar. Like I said, the promo that ends at Real One, not Enzo, did was probably longer than the match. But again, outside of the allegations, Enzo's hysterical still.
Enzo's the man. Literally my favorite meet and greet experience I've ever had.
Yeah, and Enzo is the man and has not lost his step on that microphone at all.
No, I think my favorite part that he said, Jake something, I got nothing.
Yeah.
You're fine the way you are. I have nothing for you.
Got nothing. Says Zilla Fatu did 5 years, has 5 kids, and he's under 25.
I was like, one of those is true.
Yeah. He's the toughest guy in the bloodline.
Hey, no, I just noticed looking at shots of the bunch. It's like, oh, he does have his father on his chest as a tattoo.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I mean, he looks. Again, I met him last year at Comic-Con. Nicest guy ever. Walking by his room and he approached himself and he introduced himself to me and stuff like that. And then, and he looks like a psychopath in the ring now. With the war paint and everything.
Absolutely does. And he's the 4th rope champ and also the Crown Jewel champ over in House of Glory as well. So if we're talking about indies, he might be like the hottest guy on the indies, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. He's just biding his time.
By a major. Yeah, we already know what that is. Bloodline goes where the bloodline goes.
Yeah. I think someone next to us talking does he go to AEW? I was like, he is not going anywhere but WWE.
Yeah, I think his path is pretty clear. Again, the whole family is there.
Yeah.
The whole family is there. So, at some point, that's the move.
I hope he's able to keep his Zilla Fatu name.
Yeah, that's a whole nother pod about why are we messing with some of these names, man. Hikuleo is now Tyler Tonga. Say that 5 times fast next to Tama Tonga.
Someone in creative thought that was hysterical. And they went with that.
Oh, he's tall, so he's the taller Tonga. Oh. Good job.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was a choice, but I hope he keep Zilla Fatu, pair him with Jacob. 2 crazy dudes. It's gonna, it'll go nuts. It'll go nuts. So that was that match. And then the final match we had on the card that none of us actually saw because we were out taking pictures. And the most Long Island match of the night that we didn't even watch.
Whoa.
You know it.
Yeah, the System, which is Eddie Edwards, JDC, formerly known as Fandango. I was going to say Brian Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins, and Matt Cardona because it's Long Island and he was going to be at this event regardless, aka Zack Ryder versus Dark State, which is pretty much the Shield and Mustafa Ali's heel faction done right in a weird sense. And yeah, Dark State lost. That's really all there is to it. Because you can't beat the power of Long Island on Long Island.
Nah.
I have no notes. I have notes.
All there is to it.
Shouts to Lagunitas.
This is kind of a foregone conclusion. I was like, you have Cardona and Brian Myers back at a show on Long Island. They're winning.
Well, look, hometown pops. We had to get one for the night, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of hometowns, we talk about the hometown man.
We can talk about the
fucking song. It's been stuck in my head for 3 days. It's so good. That was one of my favorite parts of the whole night.
Is that Diener?
That is Cody Diener, yeah.
I thought that was Delirious from Ring of Honor Booker.
Nah, it's Cody Diener. So the storyline goes that Eric Young and the Northern Crown, because this also happened on pre-show. Eric Young and the Northern Crown, or the history of it, Eric Young beat Cody Diener. And Cody Diener was then essentially fired from TNA.
I did see this. Yeah, I did.
So then he came back as the hometown man, but he's the hometown man in every place they go. Yeah. So he's billed from somewhere.
Yeah, he's from the Canadian portion of Long Island, the Canadian territory of Nassau County.
He was probably happy as hell to get that jersey too.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's the hometown man is. It's such a wrestling funny gimmick. It's one of those things where you show a non-wrestling fan this and they'll be like, why do you watch this?
It's either that or they immediately hey, this is fun. It's one of those things sometimes where it's somebody comes in the room and you're like, Yeah, I'm watching this.
If you show the right person, it will work.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like this, some of these are just like, oh, this is fun. This is, it's silly fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's silly
And
fun.
over time, you're just like, oh, this is wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah.
The home again. I'm surprised no one else in wrestling has ever come up with that gimmick and used it, and it took TNA to figure it out.
He's from here.
He's the hometown man. Like whoever made a song probably had a ball.
Yeah, I'd love to be in that session.
Who is he? He's the hometown man.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, so good. I want the hometown man to show up in NXT. That would be hysterical.
Yeah.
He's from the Performance Center.
He's from the PC. Comes out in like a generic PC shirt.
Property of NXT.
Absolutely. So that was a Slammiversary show as a whole as we start to wrap up for this show. And Kay, I know you're wondering one thing. How did we do? How did you do in our current prediction battle?
It's
as you may or may not know, A.O. Baker, we do a prediction. We try to predict all of the biggest wrestling events of the year. Last year, Will won, and I keep a tally and a point system. And so, here are the results after Slammiversary. Still in first place, Kay with 85 points, Will with 78, and myself with 76.
Wow.
Okay, so I looked at this really quick. I'm like 85 to 18 and 16.
Oh no, but
I think it's wrapped up.
Yeah, no, but the 7 is really bad on the font.
Got it.
Yeah, the 7 is really
a
bad.
little closer than I initially thought. But
yeah, it's
wait.
I will
so ahead.
I will tell you why. One, you actually did good on your predictions.
I did the TNA.
You got over almost 2/3 of the predictions right. The other thing that also helped you out is that. So remember, like when we were leading up to like Friday or something, I was like, oh, they added two more matches.
Oh, the Enzo match and the Matt Cardona match.
Guess who never sent me their predictions? Will never did, and by default lost those. He gets 0 points for those. Yeah,
no contest.
Exactly.
He's so mad.
Yeah, because I looked at my chart. I was like, wait, no, he definitely gave me the predictions. I looked back at the chat. I go, oh, he never sent them in. He never told me who he wanted to win.
Wow, this is great.
So your lead expanded because he forgot to make his selections.
That's so nice.
I don't think you're gonna run away with it yet because we have 2 nights of SummerSlam to predict next week.
Yeah.
Which is, SummerSlam's it's a thing that's occurring right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, Cardi B, Jelly Roll, celebrities galore.
Low-key, Cardi B is like one of the main things that I'm bummed to be missing about not going to SummerSlam.
I'm glad she's just the host because they don't have to host the entire. No, she's not getting in the ring.
I think she might.
I'm looking forward to that Cardi B 450 splash.
She's a wrestling fan. It wouldn't shock me if she's been training during her divorce.
That's very true. Who would she go up against as we're kind of just BSing right now?
On Twitter, Bailey said she was available.
Probably is, so they never like to book Bailey with anything. So
who gets booed the most in the women's division? Because it would have to be like Chelsea Green and Cardi B.
I was gonna say Nia and Cardi.
I was gonna say Nia.
Nia might really hurt her though. Like you can't. Nia might, that right hand plays no games.
I think Chelsea and Cardi B would be a fun match.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Listen, I don't even know if Chelsea's a hero or a face right now, but Chelsea Green is the best female character out right now at the moment, next to like maybe Tony.
Yeah.
Chelsea just gets it, and she's better for it. But yeah, no, that actually Chelsea Green. I'm sold on Chelsea Green and Cardi B if that does happen.
That's a good match.
Yo, tell them cut the check. I know what I'm talking about.
Chelsea and Carby would be great. All right, but as we wrap up here, and you were surprisingly able to stay for the entire show.
Yeah, I was actually able to stay for the whole thing. So I'm happy about
thank
that.
you, A.O. Baker. So anything you want to push, plug on our show while you have it, the floor is yours.
Hey, man. First of all, thank y'all once again for having me in
Absolutely.
this wonderful establishment here. The food is great. The ambiance is wonderful. Only thing to push, man. I'm going to lean into. You can see this hat. This is actually leather. It's a leather trucker. I own a company called Part of My Fresh. It's a hat company. Go to either partofmyfresh.com or wrestlehats.com. It'll take you directly to this product. A few of these are available. Pick one up. Wrestle Hats 2 drop is in production, and then there's a couple more hats I'm dropping at the end of next month, August 25th.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Partofmyfresh.com, wrestlehats.com. I'll let you buy.
Awesome. You'll stick around for our post show if you have some time, sir. If not, that's all good too.
No, yeah, now I do actually have to go.
Okay, so now that you do have to depart,
I am a half hour behind on work.
With that being said, let's get you out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 415, The Hometown Man. I am the Hometown Man and your host, King Ricky Rose. You can follow me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets, BIGZ, Ambassador Biggs. Follow Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR _podcast across all social media outlets. Like, share, subscribe, leave yourself a 5-star review. The links to all of our stuff are in the description below. If you are listening to us exclusively, make sure you're listening to us on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast. And follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at addict_wrestle on Twitter and at Wrestle Addict Radio, all one word, everywhere else. Shout out to everybody that we saw and that we met at Slammiversary. Chris and Richie, I met a Richie and not a Ricky. Chris and Richie, Ballard Club guy, we hung out with for a little bit. Of course, A.O. Baker, the Ringside Club. Shout out to Chat Law, who was in attendance somewhere, but we did not
allegedly,
yeah, we did not get to see him. And this will probably be the first of many times that we go to TNA events if they are in the area. Slater and Kayfabe, what do you have for us?
All right, y'all. It is July 22nd, which means it is the greatest day of the year. It is Boris Bucatini's birthday.
Their puppy.
We have a 2-year-old corgi running around somewhere. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at KAE_FABE. I am counting down to my bachelorette party. I am 101 days out from my wedding.
Hey.
Wedding on Halloween.
Busy.
Yes, it's going to be a great time. So when we come back next week, Kay hopefully will be there unless they start their bachelorette stuff early. We're going to talk about 2 nights of SummerSlam and who's going to show up, who's not going to show up. If there is even going to be a hometown man there at SummerSlam as well. I think that would be great if they did, but if not, who knows what's going to happen. SummerSlam, biggest part of the summer. Expect a lot of shenanigans, expect a lot of heel things, especially expect a double turn, because I'm calling it right now, because it's happening. But don't expect Slack to be here for next week, because fuck you, Slack. Goodbye, good night. We'll see you next week. This has been a Wrestle Addict Radio branded podcast.